The new Clone Wars season did much more than just show us Order 66 from Ahsoka's point of view. It tried to cover a lot, but one specific meeting that was held showed many legendary characters that ended up not being seen in the Clone Wars series again, but we have seen them throughout in the Star Wars universe. For example, in this meeting we get to see Commander Bacara, who served under Jedi Master Ki Adi Mundi. I want to talk about him specifically in this video. You see, the Revenge of the Sith does not give him justice enough, as clearly through many material, especially in Legends, it shows that Commander Bacara almost stopped himself from executing Order 66, the same way as Rex hesitated in the most recent episode, almost stopped himself from executing Order 66, but in the end he just couldn't resist the inhibitor chip and following orders. Aside from what we see in Revenge of the Sith, this is what we know about Commander Bacara, Jedi Ki Adi Mundi, and Order 66 altogether. Today it's all about Bacara, but a specific moment in his life. The Battle of Megiddo and what actually happened during that battle. You see, when Bacara and Ki Adi Mundi returned to Megiddo nearing the end of the Clone Wars, the fighting for Megiddo's capital city worsened by the minute. In an effort to slow down the Republic advance, the Separatists used their enormous tri-droids to lay waste to the cities. What's worse is that the Republic used their artillery pieces to hammer the enemy down. This only managed to destroy the landscape into absolute rubble. As you can see, both sides just aided to the problem. As a result of this bombardment, the skies of Megiddo were constantly filled with dark gray ash, which was carried by the icy winds across the planet. If you have played the old Battlefront games, you may be more familiar with Megiddo. It is absolutely horrible to see this happen to the planet. To aid the Marines, however, several detachments of the 501st Legion were sent to the icy world, where, as a side note, there was a top secret mission aimed at acquiring power crystals from a secret super weapon for the Supreme Chancellor. However, here's where it gets interesting. After Mundi ordered his troops to push against the Separatists, Bacara, at that moment in time, received Order 66 via an encrypted channel directly from Palpatine. Order 66 effectively labeled Ki Adi Mundi, the great Jedi Master, along with the rest of the other Jedi, as traitors and enemies of the Republic. This moment was not easy for Bacara. He had a long-lasting respect for the Jedi Master. He served under him for a long time. That's not easy to forget. However, this was the bad thing about the clones, the tough situation that they were put in. Not only inhibitor chips, but loyalty to the Republic. Bacara's ultimate loyalty laid with Palpatine and his Republic, basically. If they didn't, the repercussions were to be grand. And of course, once he realized this, he did not hesitate, and together with his troops, he executed the order. As Ki Adi Mundi led the Marines in a charge against the Separatists, Bacara and the surrounding troopers stopped, raised their rifles, and gunned down a baffled Jedi in a storm of blaster fire. By the way, guys, this was all told through the novel Order 66 that came out after Revenge of the Sith, and it shows how troopers felt about the Order. In this case, as you can see, Bacara was still tentative at first, but as many clones, he had no choice, or else he too would have been probably branded a traitor. Such was the case with the Ion team, for example. Clone commandos that, upon helping the Jedi during Order 66, were branded as traitors. Even though they had the inhibitor chips installed, they still didn't believe the Order was real. Interestingly enough, not a lot of other clones did, but just as well. Probably any of them would be killed or locked away. Bacara wasn't only similar to Rex at this point, not wanting to execute Order 66, but I think he felt compelled just like Jesse did, as we saw his story as well. I explained it in a previous video, and this is what I said. Jesse is a clone trooper that has avoided death many a times. The aforementioned Umbara arc, we always circle back to that because that was an arc that recognized the values of a lot of clones that henceforth we came to love. It really felt like a brotherhood, especially going against the evil Axis that was Pong Krell. I mean, Jesse escaped death narrowly, as Fives and Jesse were prepared for execution during the Umbara arc, And as Jesse escaped death, Fives would not die that day, but he did die eventually, tragically I might add. What's weird though is that in the last episode, in episode 9, Old Friends Not Forgotten, if you might have missed it, Jesse was accompanying Commander Rex and Ahsoka Tano in the Mandalore invasion. You can see Jesse behind everybody. I think the creators tried their best to hide him in the shadows, but what stands to reason is that since we do not convincingly know Jesse did not remove his inhibitor chip before Order 66, and with the death of Captain Vaughn, and that we know Rex will not execute Order 66, does this in actuality mean that Jesse will take command of the 332nd and go after Ahsoka? It is a valid question that I think has a dark ending. Yes, in my opinion, this will result in Jesse executing Order 66 and going after Ahsoka Tano. This is what we know about this season and Jesse. So far, what we've seen is that he participated in the Battle of Annexes. Suffice to say, it was a lengthy campaign between the Republic and the Confederacy, which was no picnic for the Republic forces. They were initially at a very hefty loss. They were being outsmarted and outmaneuvered by the Separatists every single time, which led to them concluding that they have insider help, which Rex ultimately came to the conclusion that Echo might still be alive and aiding them in some manner. During this battle specifically, you can see Jesse aiding the Jedi in their conquest. To the surprise of some fans, Jesse even got entangled with one of the Bad Batch members, more specifically Crosshair. You can see him in the Bad Batch episode, which was the first episode of the season. Furthermore, not only can we see him during this conversation between Minister Almec and Bo-Katan, but later in that episode, you can literally see Jesse jump out of the LAAT just before Rex and Ahsoka do also. So by now you may be wondering what the hell is going on. It is no secret that the last episodes of the Clone Wars will be the darkest ones yet. The 11th episode is called Shattered, coming May 1st. Undoubtedly, Shattered will be one of the darkest ones yet. The shattered trust between the Jedi Order and the clones will be witnessed in a grander scale that we have never seen before. Revenge of the Sith showcased that clearly, but not to this point. Even Jedi Fallen Order gave us a taste, but these episodes will go severely in depth, and this is where Jesse comes in on Mandalore with his squad. When Order 66 will be issued, he will be the one in command to go after the former Jedi, which is Ahsoka Tano. It will be interesting though to see the dynamic between him and Rex during that time. Rex not executing Order 66 and Jesse complying with that order. Will Jesse accuse Rex of being a traitor? You know, after all, a good soldier follows orders. Alrighty guys, that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe for dailies. Now you have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you until then.